Welcome back to Alliance War. It's Season 40, War 9. 4 Loki is facing Salty. These dudes are awesome. If you follow top tier war, you know that they're one of the best alliances in the world. So, big underdogs this war. And as such, we got to bring the big guns. That means running Miguel with his jockstrap here and a little bit of Carl action. Carl's always a thrill ride, and we'll see exactly why that's true later on this war. All right, we're going to start off on path 2A. This is the buff path, but Miguel doesn't care because he doesn't get buffs. First up, we have a Sassy. We'll start off by baiting a heavy and then doing a counter heavy. The reason being is that this node doesn't really allow for and punishes attempts to parry heavy. So it's just real easy to counter heavy Sasquatch, and that we only really need one exhaustion in order to shut down his wrath. And then we can just play the normal Miguel style, dexing, hitting, block, etc. I do get popped a couple times just for shits and giggles because that's how Clown rolls. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and have a mastery setup where we're maxing out Despair, so that way we can deal with the region with all of our Rupture debuffs. All right, next up we have a Killmonger. On the second fight, Killmonger doesn't punish buffs, so that's nothing. We'll just go ahead and use Carl on this node in Uru form, because in Uru he is going to be bleed immune, and there really isn't really much of this fight. It's just kind of slow, but it's easily done with Carl just going ahead and punishing Killmonger's heavy with your heavy, and then when you have a special one, of course, heavy canceling into the special. So pretty easy fight overall, as long as you avoid getting hit by a special 2. This is, not a fight I'm going to screw up, thankfully, so it goes down pretty smooth. The other thing about the Uru form is that the increased physical resistance checks Killmonger's reverb, so you don't really need to worry about playing around reverb with Absorbing Man. All right, next up we have Terrax on node 20. I'm going to go ahead and start with a PS1 boost. I had to buy some using units and in magma form, because you should always fight Terrax in magma form with Carl. And we're just going to beat him down. Here's a nice little burst damage special too. Look at that beautiful, beautiful bean footage. All right, so yeah, there's not much to it. Just go ahead and build, throw another special here, and that should be the end of the fight. Actually, the fight ended before I threw a special. All right, so here's where Clown pulls his usual nonsense and screws it up. We have this anus here on 22. In magma form, I'll have increased energy resistance, so the shocks don't matter, and obviously in magma, I'll be incinerate immune. The thinking here is, well, let me pop on an invul, and I'll just eat special 3s. And then if an opportunity presents itself, maybe I knock off the flourish, buffs, and boom, look at that. I lose my indestructible, and that's pretty much the fight right there. Because there's really nothing I can do here. I'm going to have to end up taking, a special 3. I remove some prowess before I do it. I throw mine, but really, I got real unlucky rushing in there to hit block. But in thinking about it, I got unlucky doing something I didn't need to do. I could have just held back, punished his heavies, kept the indestructible nice and safe, and won the fight cleanly. And, I just didn't need to do it. And so my bad luck was created by my bad decision making. And so that's why I died. Here is the second version of this fight. And we're going to see that I'm not going to even try to remove the flourishes here. I'm just going to bait heavies and punish. And I will eat a special 3. But I have the invulnerability boost, and I can eat 3 special 3s. So it doesn't really even matter. Yeah, this was a real bummer to drop this one, because at this point in the war, losing 1 attack bonus against Salty. I mean, these guys have had clears with just one death. You know, I mean, they're phenomenal. And so any death just really feels like it matters. So that was a real bummer. But we got more fights, so we got to keep going. Next up, we have this Apocalypse on 26. This is the Bleed Shock. So we're going to be in Uru form with Absorbing Man on this node. And we're going to try the same strategy against Apoc that we were using against... the same strategy against Apoc that we were using against, Annihilus. And that's just, let him throw his special threes if he wants to, and we'll let the invulnerability boost tank it for us. And so, this is a long fight. It just straight up is. But it ends up being a really, really safe fight. I don't get hit, which is always good, right? And because I have no fear of tanking the special 3 with the invulnerability boost, I'll just go ahead and eat it. And so here's the first special 3 that Absorbing Man is going to eat. But again, the invul absorbs the damage. So we come out of it with some debuffs. That's fine. They're gonna do their business, but I'm just gonna keep moving and grooving here with Absorbing Man, refining the Uru state to get the burst damage I can get. I think I'm gonna go ahead and eat one more special 3. No, because he threw the special 2, so I only ate 1. Nope, I'll end up eating 2 here. So, but again, that's the second of my 3 hits with the invul. And again, this is the strategy using Absorbing Man against these Flourish defenders, is let them throw their special 3s, and you'll kill them before they can throw a 4th. That's the plan. I did not execute it versus Annihilus. I do execute it versus Apoc. So now we move on to path 9B, more hazard shift, but I'm actually not going to be using Absorbing Man on either of these fights. I'm going to be using my old friend Miguel and just hitting block. The Max Despair will take care of any regen from Absorbing Man, so we'll just go ahead and speed this up. I think there's like I do get a bleed there just because, I inadvertently intercepted him. Wasn't trying to. I was just trying to rush in and hit block. But, it's a slow fight. It takes about a minute or so. But it's ultimately a very, very, very safe one. Just letting the ruptures do the work. Now, the next fight that is on... This is also one-eyed open, which if you read the comments from my last war video, I took a ton of damage with Corvus against Penny on this node because I forgot about one-eyed open, but whatever. I don't need to worry about that against Miguel because I'm never parrying. I'm only hitting block. All right, so the next fight is a fun one. It's Miguel against Bishop. This is a fight that Karate Mike was too chicken to do with his Miguel, which is actually probably pretty smart. They had they could send 2 guys up this path and have an Ultron do this fight. Ultron's way, way safer than Miguel. But Miguel can do this fight easily. The goal is just to build up as many ruptures as you can while leaving Bishop under a bar of power and then just dexing to let the ruptures do the work. So this is a very, very slow fight, but it can be done very, very safe. I am going to make a small mistake at the end, but thankfully it does not end up costing me in any way, shape, or form. So that's good. But as we can see, we're just letting the dexes do their work, and I end up hitting Bishop and pushing him over a bar. He gets a big rupture burst damage, but now he's within special range, and he does throw the special 1. So now I've got to worry about the stupid incinerates hitting me, but he's low enough in health I can go ham and kill him before I take any meaningful damage. All right, next up we have Doom here on node 48, and it's much easier to fight Doom here than elsewhere on the map, like on one of the conflictor nodes 26 or 51, so I'm very thankful for this placement of a rank 5 Doom. I did have a Petrify pre-fight from Mr. Fantastic to help manage the aura, but that was more of a luxury I didn't really need, but I'm certainly going to take it because this fight goes pretty quickly. Yep, low power, pause, good job. My phone cable wasn't charging my phone like I had hoped, so small little error that was fixed. But overall, very, very safe fight. We fought Doom a absolute ton with Miguel over the seasons, and so this is not a fight that I'm particularly worried about. If you can beat him on Conflictor, you can pretty much beat him anywhere, so it's just a matter of, look at that, didn't even get hit by a single special one in this fight. Oh man, yeah, that one death was really bad, but the rest of the gameplay is pretty decent. All right, my final fight of this war is this Managogue on 54. As we all know, this is an absolutely nothing fight. We'll just start off with 3 parry heavies, and between the exhaustions and the PS1 for the second wither, he'll be reversing his power gain. He'll throw one special one. He'll never throw another special. So, yep, that's it. Very, very easy fight. At this point in the evening, 4Loki has about 15 fights left or so. So we've done 135 fights. We have only one death, mine. And we are currently beating Salty, which is amazing. I'm just so proud of all of the guys and 4Loki. BG1 had a donut. BG2 is 48 and clown. BG3 is on its way to a donut. I'm just so proud of everyone. If we end up winning this war, that's amazing. If we don't, that's okay too, because we had a really strong showing. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next life, Jack.